Today, I want to introduce you to someone who has influenced and motivated millions of people. Ben. He is a speaker, producer, and author of a New York Times best-selling book. This is the very book I want to discuss today. What do you want to do before you die? Behind every success lies a story or a source of inspiration. The success of this book began with a story after Ben and his three friends stumbled upon a poem called The Buried Life, written in 1852 by an English poet. The Buried Life speaks of something that makes us ponder. Our dreams are being slowly buried by life itself. It makes us live rigidly, bound by convention and repetitive tasks, day after day. After reading it, they felt as if every line of the poem was speaking to their deepest desires, making them want to do something different with their own lives. They wanted to reclaim the dreams that had been buried for so long. They asked themselves, "Before I die, what do I want to do?" This question led Ben and his friends to list 100 things they wanted to accomplish most before they died. This was merely a spontaneous list, but they planned to complete all 100 items in 2 months, so they would have no regrets later. They named this plan The Buried Life, and, without much thought, decided to pack their bags and go. During their journey, they met many people and encountered incredibly interesting things. They successfully achieved things that seemed impossible, like skydiving, traveling through time to visit the pyramids, giving a congratulatory speech at a stranger's wedding, experiencing a night in jail, and helping two siblings reunite after 10 years apart. Even more surprisingly, they played an indoor basketball game with former President Obama. 100 things might sound utterly crazy, even irrational, but they were profoundly meaningful. Do you know, there are things that if we don't do them now, they will likely be buried forever by time, and what will be left for us is regret. But for Ben, after accomplishing these 100 things, what truly resonated with him was the asterisk experience asterisk. Indeed, life is nothing if not for experience. The experience of these 100 things on their bucket list may have ended, but it continued to lead Ben to other experiences. They became more widely known, interviewed by various media outlets, and appeared on some of the most highly rated talk shows in American history, like Oprah Winfrey and other prominent hosts. Unexpectedly, what was initially a 2-month plan completely transformed Ben's life. He became a New York Times best-selling author, invited to speak by numerous major corporations such as Nordstrom, American Apparel, and Salesforce. He has delivered over 500 speeches worldwide. The Buried Life also became a career for Ben. He launched his own website, produced The Buried Life web series, and continues to be a guest speaker, sharing inspiring content with even more people. Ben's website features photos of their incredible journey. I'll include the link in the description. Hopefully, it will give you some inspiration and motivation to complete your own bucket list. My message is that our lives are incredibly short. Everyone will eventually return to dust. This is a common truth of life that everyone knows, yet many still get caught in the whirlwind of busyness, doing repetitive things day after day, forgetting that there are fundamentally important things in life that require our personal attention. In his speeches, Ben also emphasizes that what often makes people procrastinate and avoid taking action is the lack of a deadline. Think about it. Don't we have many deadlines in our lives? Homework assignments, end-of-month reports, annual KPIs, 4-year university deadlines, for example. All of these have clear, specific regulations that compel us to complete them, even if it means rushing and sacrificing many things to get them done. However, our personal plans are different. For example, starting a business, participating in a marathon, confessing your feelings to someone you love, or improving relationships with family members. These things are very important in our personal lives, but we don't set specific deadlines for them. This is precisely what causes us to procrastinate repeatedly and tell ourselves things like, "There's still plenty of time," "I'll wait for the right opportunity to start," or "I don't feel too well today, I can exercise tomorrow." This endless procrastination often leads to the realization that everything is too late, and time, once passed, never returns. A study from Harvard University interviewed terminally ill patients to understand their thoughts on what they had experienced in life. A staggering 76% of them regretted not what they failed to achieve in life, but the things they had always wanted to do but ultimately couldn't. Most of them expressed that if they could live once more, they wouldn't live according to the expectations of others, but would bravely live for themselves. We are too accustomed to a life influenced by those around us, who tell us we should become this type of person, have a certain kind of job, own a beautiful house, drive a particular car, or use the latest smartphone. Of course, most of these desires have good intentions, but if we blindly pursue them, it means we are living according to the expectations of others. Ben advises us to regularly take time to reflect and imagine ourselves when we are old, when we are on our deathbed, looking out the window and asking ourselves, are there any things I regret missing out on, things I didn't do? If so, write down those things you want to do before you die, plan them with a specific deadline, and act now. Don't hesitate any longer because we only live once. According to a study, simply writing down your desires gives you a 42% chance of successfully achieving them. So, let go of all hesitation, excuses, and see it through. However, Ben doesn't advise us to immediately quit our current jobs, abandon everything, and chase what we want to do. Instead, he suggests we think about what we truly want to do, alongside maintaining our main work. Each day or week, you should dedicate time outside of working hours to pursue your plan. If you truly want something, you will find a way to make it happen. If you want to become a professional athlete, you can spend time researching muscles or nutrition online after work each day. If you want to become a chef, you can take cooking classes on weekends or learn new recipes. Just 1 hour each day dedicated to your plan, and after a year, you will find that you have successfully achieved many things. Even small, 1% changes can transform your entire life. Tim Urban, founder of the website Wait But Why, gave a TED Talk on Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator. Tim is incredibly talented and is one of the 6 people Elon Musk personally follows on his website. Tim introduced a method to help us visualize 90 years of a person's life using simple but highly intuitive squares, then using specific numbers to illustrate what one can do in a lifetime. For example, if you are 30 years old and read 5 books a year, and you live to be 90, you will only read 300 more books in your remaining life. You can use this method to calculate other things in your life. How many more times you can travel abroad, how many more times you can climb mountains, how many more times you can celebrate Lunar New Year with your family. This way of visually looking at life helps us maintain a clear-headed attitude to face every task in life. Tim also used a similar method to calculate the time he spent with his parents. This calculation shocked me. Tim shared that ever since he graduated high school, he had to leave his family to attend university in another city. He could only visit home 3 to 5 times a year, each time for just a few days. After doing the math, Tim was stunned to discover that from the moment he left for university, he had already spent 93% of his time with his parents. Now, in his remaining life, he only has 7% left to spend with them. Time is truly not as abundant as we imagine. Whether it's our parents, family, or friends, we should cherish every second we spend with them. The final point this book addresses is to practice thinking about death. This is also an extremely important practice. It helps us keep a clear mind to step out of the busyness of life and truly examine how we live our lives. When you start practicing thinking about death, you might find it uncomfortable, even scary. But if you bravely re-examine the finite deadlines you've placed on your own finite life, you will know how to truly live out the rest of your days. Perhaps you will no longer waste time on meaningless tasks. Perhaps you will find the courage to do things that previously terrified you. And perhaps you will resolve to step out of your comfort zone. You will cherish every second, every minute of your life, cherish every person by your side, and live a more complete and meaningful life, so that when you wave goodbye to this world, you won't have to utter a single word of regret. These are the insights I wanted to share with you from this book. I hope this message will give you motivation to start a plan and immediately act on the things you want to do before you die, so that our lives will never be filled with regret.